Hello everyone, JK Origami here, and today I'm going to teach you how to fold my origami angel heart. This design here I folded actually a few years ago, but it was way too complex to teach, but now I've refined it, made its steps a little bit easier, and found some fixes to some problems I had with it, with the folding sequence, and now I think that it's feasible to teach, and so I'm going to give it a go. As you can see, it has the two wings, a halo, and the heart in the middle, all with color changes. So without further ado, we'll get right into it. This one here was folded from a 35 by 35 centimeter square of two-sided foil. This one was folded from a 15 by 15 centimeter squares rather, of foil as well, and same with this one. But for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to fold this using a 35 by 35 centimeter square of two-sided foil. So, as you can see, I have pink on one side, silver on the other side, and we're going to start with the color that you want the heart to be. So in this case purple, or for me pink. We're going to start with that color up. Alright, and we're going to start by folding along the diagonal. And again, crease sharply and precisely throughout the entire design because it is quite complex. And in order to have a good effect, you want to have nice creases. So we folded the diagonal. We're going to go ahead and fold the other diagonal. So once you've folded both diagonals, we're going to go ahead and rotate the paper so that it's sitting like this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this bottom edge here, and bring it to the diagonal crease that we just folded. But we're not going to fold the whole thing. We're first going to line it up as if we were about to make the fold. And we're only going to pinch where it intersects the diagonal crease, like that. And then you can unfold. Now we're going to rotate 180 degrees, and we're going to repeat the same thing here. So line it up nicely, but rather than crease the whole thing, we only need a pinch mark right here. So, now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and rotate like this. So we have our two pinch marks along this diagonal, and we're going to make the fold. Like that. So, our next step, we're going to take the corner, and we're going to bring the edge here, line it up with the edge down here, and we're making a fold from this pinch mark. Now this is a little bit of a tricky step, so we gotta go from the pinch mark, make a fold down. We're lining up edge with edge, but we're only going to fold lightly. We don't want a strong crease. So I'm just making sure that it's going from the pinch mark, and we're only going to press lightly. We just want to know where this is. So I'm just going to press lightly. I don't want a strong fold, so just like that. Now I'm going to bring this top edge here and bring it right down to the fold we just made. And crease sharply this time, like that. Now we're going to unfold. and we're going to flip the paper over, and now do the same thing from here. So we're going to first make our fold, lining up edge with edge, but only press lightly, like that. Now we're going to unfold, and bring the top edge down to this crease. Once again, make sure that it's as perfect as you can get it. So, there we go. And you can see that it originates right from the pinch mark. Now we can unfold. Now, our next step is we're going to make a fold joining this point here to that point there. So we're going to take this edge and fold it up. Now on this side, we've got to check that it lines up with the pinch. And then we got to check on this side as well. So there we go. And now we want to make a crease connecting those 2 points. So, and then crease sharply. Now we're going to flip the paper over and go ahead and repeat. But this time we have an easier method. We're just going to take this point, bring it right up to there. So we're lining that up, and now right here at the bottom, we're going to make the crease. And crease sharply. So now we're going to unfold these 2 sides. And so now you can see we made that new crease. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this point here, and we're going to bring it down to the bottom corner. So, and the crease is going to go through this intersection up here. So I'm just going to start from this intersection, bring the layer down, and now I can see that this point needs to come on top of the corner. So I'm just going to line up the layer. Make sure it still goes through this intersection up here. And once I'm happy with the alignment, I'm going to make a full sharp crease going through all the layers. Like that. Now we're going to unfold. And we're going to repeat with this layer here. So we're bringing it through this intersection point and lining up the point with the corner. So I'm happy with that. So creasing sharply all throughout. Now that we have this, we're going to go ahead and unfold back to this step. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to make from this corner to there and to this edge there, we're going to make that into a mountain fold all throughout. So I'm just going to reverse the crease on this half. I'm just making it into a mountain fold like that. And now I'm going to do the same thing with this crease here, all the way up to there. So I'm going to make all of those into mountain folds. Just want to reverse the original creases like that. And the same thing on this edge. I'm just reinforcing them. Alright, so now what we're going to do is you can see that this fold here and this fold here are already mountain folds. And so we're going to do a complex collapse here. So just follow along as best you can. And if you have to, you can go back and watch it again. So these creases here that I just showed are going to be mountain folds. So you want to make them all at the same time. This here and this here are going to be valley folds. and this middle crease here is going to be a valley fold. And then this crease and that crease are going to be valley folds. So we're folding like this, and we're bringing the sides in. So mountain fold, and I'm bringing it together. You can see how it's coming together like that. So I'm bringing it together, and now I flatten like that. And it should lay flat if your creases were precise. So once again, you can see mountain fold, valley, valley. The square in the middle is a mountain. The line in the middle is valley, and then mountain, mountain, and mountain over there. And so we're just bringing it together. And you want to make sure all the creases form, and then you can collapse. So you should have something that looks like this. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to take this point here, fold it up to the corner at the top. Just like that. And you should have now the color of your heart should be showing here. So now we're going to take this edge, bring it to the center. And make sure, again, you're creasing very precisely. And now we're going to bring this edge to the center. Just like that. Now we're going to unfold both, and we're going to fold this layer inside. So I'm going to lift up this layer gently, and I'm going to reverse this crease to become a mountain fold. Just like that. And you'll notice the other mountain fold should want to form. And I'm just going to let it form, and then collapse. Just like that. And I'm going to repeat with this layer. So just lifting it up a little bit, allowing my crease to reverse here. And this one is a little bit fidgety, but once I got it, then I can just collapse. And it should look like that. Now, we're going to go ahead and flip the model over. I'm going to rotate it so that it's like this. And now I'm going to bring this edge to the center. And the same thing with the right side. And once again, you want to make sure your creases are very precise. And we're going to unfold. And now again, we're going to push these two layers in. So I'm just lifting this up a little bit. I'm going to start with the right side. I'm going to reverse the crease to become a mountain fold. And allow the crease that's already a mountain fold to form naturally. And then I can collapse again. Just like that. Same thing on this side, so just going to lift it open. I'm going to reverse my crease. And then allow the other one to form. And now I can collapse. Just like that. Now, we're going to go ahead, flip the model back over, and rotate. So, we're going to take this top flap and fold it over. Now, we're going to take this layer, and we're going to fold it down. We're going to fold from this corner to the other corner. And this will be a little bit thick in the middle, so you can fold it slowly and make sure that your layers align. So, just gotta correct that a little bit, and then I can crease sharply. Like that. Now, we're going to do a fold here, actually a couple folds at the same time. So we're going to make, from this point down, we're going to make a mountain fold on the existing crease. So like this. So it's not going to lie flat now. What we're going to do is we're going to bring this mountain fold that we just made to this existing crease. And we have to do that kind of by folding it and bringing this layer over a little bit. So I'm going to rotate because it's a little bit easier. I'm just bringing this crease to align with the line. You want to make sure you're folding all the layers as one. And now I'm going to crease. So you can see I just made a crease in there. So again, we start out like this. I made a mountain fold. I'm bringing it up to here. And now I'm taking this layer and I'm just going to allow a fold to form so that I can flatten the paper. Just like that. So again, we start out like this. I made the mountain fold, brought it up to this side, and then I allowed this layer to come, closing it up as I went. So, now what we're going to do is we're going to make a fold. And in order to make this fold, we have to kind of lift up the top layer. Now you could do it with the top layer still down, but it would give you a little bit of a crease mark in your final product. So it's better off if you do it like this. So I'm just going to lift it up. Now, in here you can see how we have this flap. And I'm going to take it, and I'm just folding it in. It's a little bit tough to show, but I'm folding from this corner to that corner, to this corner up here. So I'm taking it, and I'm just bringing it in. So from that corner up to that corner, and so now I'm just going to make the crease. So like that. So once you've made that crease, you can unfold. So I'm just going to lift up the layer and unfold that. And now we're going to go ahead and open up the paper. So you can allow this side to unfold. And I'm just going to open up this layer from behind. And do this gently so you don't rip the paper. And we have to kind of lift up this layer again. But you can see how we've now made this crease and that crease. And we're going to fold those into mountain folds and push the paper in. So like that. And the inside one is a little bit tricky, but you can see from this side what I'm doing. I'm just folding it in up to the corner on the crease we just made, like that. And now we're going to make these two creases into valley folds and allow the paper to come back together. And we can refold it the way it was. Now, just to close this part back up, we make this fold here into a valley fold from this side, and then the paper should come back closed the way it was. Just like that. So the reason why we did this fold is so that now we free up this paper a little bit in order to shape it later on. So, our next step is going to be to open this layer up a little bit again. We're going to take, so actually we need to unfold this completely now that we've pre-creased it. And we're going to go ahead and, once again, we just need to identify a couple of layers before we continue. So we have this layer here that's attached to the front. We have this middle layer, which you can kind of pull up a little bit. And then you have the back layer, which is attached to the back. So, we can remake the fold now that we know that. And we're going to make a fold where we open up the paper and we take the front layer and fold this edge to the inside. So we're going to fold it down to the line and crease sharply. So it looks like that. Now, we're going to go ahead, and you can see that we have creases right here underneath this layer, right along it actually, and we're going to just make them into mountain folds and push this layer inside, like that. So I'm just folding it on the existing creases, and now I'm going to fold up as far as it'll go. So I'm just opening up the layer. Just like that. Now, we're going to take the middle edge here. So we have the back edge and the middle edge. And because the layers are trapped together, we're going to fold it as one. And we're going to do the same fold. We're folding it inside to the crease. So it's a little bit tricky to show just because it's happening mostly inside, but we're folding it down all the way to the crease. So just like that. So you can see what I'm doing. Oh, it's not that accurate what I've just done, but I'm going to fix that. Just like that. Now we're going to unfold. And I'm going to close this edge back up. And now I'm going to unfold that first layer. Now I'm going to open this back up and unfold this part completely. And also I'm going to take this back out. So we're going right back to this point. And now we're going to do a little bit of a complicated fold. We're going to take this. So you can see we have the front and the back layer. I'm going to open it up. And I can see all my middle layers coming open. And we have to make a little bit of a tricky fold here. So we're going to make a fold, a valley fold on this crease here, mountain fold of this triangle. So I'm going to, first of all, make my valley fold here, and I have to kind of push the layer in. It won't lie flat. And mountain, mountain. Just like that. And I just want to make sure that my creases are precise. So now what we're going to do is we're going to push the fold down, the valley fold. You can see it's coming down. And now I can bring the middle layer back together. And now I'm just going to fold along these existing valley folds and allow the model to come together using existing creases. And then I can flatten. So what we've done is we've locked this into place now, because now it won't come up very easily. Now we got to open it back up a little bit, and now we're going to do a slightly complicated fold here. We're going to fold it down on the existing creases. So I'm going here, here, here. You can see those creases, and on the inside a little bit more we have this and that. We're going to make those into mountain folds and turn this and this into valley folds. So I'm going to start by reversing the creases. Down here, I've got to reverse this crease. And then this crease here. So, Now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and push this in, allowing it to come together. And you'll notice now that we have to do something a little bit extra. We're going to push this layer in, making this crease, and using this line. So I'm just bringing it together. So now it's starting to come together. And again, I gotta make sure that this layer gets pushed in. So I'm going to make this fold and push this in. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm going to make my front layer come down, and I'm going to fold it behind. So I'm remaking that crease as I'm doing this. Now I'm once again going to valley fold here, mountain fold here, allowing that to come together just on the existing creases as we did. And now you can see that it's willing to come together now. And so I'm just going to make sure that it's on the creases. And now we can collapse, and the model will lie flat. So as you can see, this layer is coming out a little bit. That's just because it's getting a bit thick for this paper, so I'm just going to push it back in. But it should look like this. So, we've done that, so we can put it down now. And now we have to do the same thing again on the other side. So, we're going to start by opening it up, folding the layer down. And this side, I'm not going to show it in quite as much detail as I did on the original side. So if you need to see it again, please go back and watch that original left side being done. The steps are exactly the same, just in the mirror image of each other. So now we're going to open. So again, for this step, I'm folding from corner to corner, like that. And then I'm going to open up the layers. Make my mountain folds. Like that. And now I've got to remake my paper, so I got to make that mountain fold here. Perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and make my fold, opening it up and bringing the front flap, folding this down to here. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up this layer. I'm going to make the same fold into the back this time. Now I'm going to unfold carefully back to where I had it before. And now bring this up. Now that I have my layers separated, I'm going to do the same fold again. So I'm going to make this into a valley. This into a mountain. this one into a mountain and make the two middle ones. So I'm making this one and this one, which is really one line, but it behaves like two. So once I got that, I'm going to make sure the corners are pushed in. And then I'm going to allow the valley folds to be made and recollapse. So now I'm going to reopen this part. Actually, not quite yet, but I'm going to open up the model rather. And I'm going to remake my folds. I'm making them into mountain folds. Like that. So, now that I've done that, I'm going to once again remake this fold. Or with the front one rather, not the back one, just the front one, folding it in. Now, I'm going to reopen this section, making my folds. And now I've got my mountain folds and valley folds remade, and so I'm just going to allow it to collapse like this. So now we have both wings the same folds. So now we're going to go ahead, flip the entire model over, and now we're going to go ahead and bring this bottom edge up to this edge here. And as I'm doing this, I'm going to allow this layer here to come up. So I'm going to continue my crease. And as I'm doing this, I'm going to allow the edge to come over to the right. And I'm going to now make a fold from here up to the corner, bringing the edge to the center line. And now that I've done that, I can once again lay the model back down. And now I'm going to make a fold along the line. So I'm folding this edge over as far as it goes. And crease sharply throughout. So now it should look like that. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this wing. So I'm lifting the layer, folding just the top edge up to the line, and then I'm going to simultaneously make a crease over here, aligning edge with line, and then I can flatten back down, and then make a fold over as far as it will go. Looks just like that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bring this point, aligning it with this, this edge here, and I want to bring it over such that this and this, these two perpendicular edges intersect. I want this edge to lie. So I'm just going to keep going, and right there is where I want it. And crease sharply. I'm going to do the same thing over here, so I'm just bringing the point across the edge until I get the alignment. There we go. So it looks like that. So now if we just take stock of what we have so far, if you look down here, we have the front raw edge, and we have these 2 points. So our next step, we're going to have the model like this. Actually, we'll flip it over because it's a bit easier to do from this side. And we've got to make a fold. We've got to fold right across like that. And now we got to bring this edge up to this edge formed here. And in the middle especially, this fold is going to be quite thick. But we need to make sure it goes through all the layers. So I'm just bringing this very slowly, very gently, and I'm forming the crease and bringing it over, lining it up. Just like that. If we look at it from the other side, you can see I'm folding the edges as one. Now we've got to bring the edge and fold it to the other side to form a second crease. And again, press very hard because it's thick in the middle and you want to make sure you have a strong crease throughout. So now I'm going to unfold this section. Now, this top layer here, so I rotate it, so I start like this, I rotate here, so I got my 3 layers. The top one I'm just going to fold up a little bit, not a strong crease, we don't want it to stay like that, we just want to access the layer behind. So now what I'm going to do is make a fold joining that intersection point to that intersection point. Like that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to open sync this. So you want to just gently pull the model open. Make the creases and then fold it in. So it looks like that. Now we've got to go ahead and we're going to remake the fold here, but we're not going to make the fold on the front layer, the very front. So we're going to make it all the way down here. So I'm just sticking my finger the very front in there, and I'm making the fold, but only allowing these layers to fold. At the same time, you want the front layer to form the fold going the other way, so like that. Now what we're going to do with this inner layer is we're going to use it by allowing diagonal creases to come there as we're pulling, folding like that. So, once again, if you take a look at the inner layer, all we did is we allowed diagonal creases to form there, which allows this layer to stick out forward. So we're just doing that, just like that. And now I'm going to continue the fold all the way up the paper. The middle is the hardest part to do, and I'm going to fold it now in half, like this. And once again, make sure it's flattened right along the crease line. So now it looks like this. And now we can go ahead and open it up by folding along this edge. I'm folding it to the right when you look at it from bottom up. So just want to make sure it's precise. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make the face, or rather the curve up here of the heart. We're going to make the heart into the proper shape. So we're going to start off, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So we're going to make a fold. All right, we're going to make a fold from about halfway between the center crease and the edge, and we're going to try to make it at a 45-degree angle. So, a little too far. Okay, I like that. And we're going to crease just up there. Now, at the same time, we're going to try to mirror that fold. But this one's a bit more difficult because you have to lift the layer and fold from behind. So mine, like that is okay. Now, we're going to make both folds at the same time, and the paper is going to start to collapse. Like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to unfold this, open up the paper a little bit, and fold it behind. So you notice we have essentially two triangles, one big, one small. We're going to fold the big triangle behind first, making mountain folds. And we're going to fold the small triangle forward using valley folds, like that. And now we can flatten once again. And you'll notice the shape now looks something like this. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to open up this layer a little bit, and I'm going to fold this edge to that edge. And this is getting a bit small, so hopefully you can see okay. And we're going to do the same thing. Oh, maybe if I hold it like this. Yeah, that's a bit better. You bring that edge, this edge here, to that edge there. And now we're going to form a crease between this intersection point and that intersection point. Just bringing the layer down, like that. So now you can see when you look at it from the front, you now have your nice heart shape. So I'm just going to flatten. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this layer and we're going to push it inside using this crease. So the way that's going to work is we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold this over. Just we're folding it both ways. So now we're going to open the layer. We're just pushing it into there, just like that, reversing the folds. And now the edge will lay flat, and it looks like this. And now we're going to, you see you have this edge here that's attached to the front. We're just going to fold it behind to lock in the heart and also to get rid of it. So now we have a nice corner. And we're going to do the same thing with this edge behind. I'm just going to fold it behind, and this one's a bit thicker, so just be careful when you're folding it. Now it looks like this. So our next step is going to be to flip the model over, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a fold. So you can see how this forms a straight line. We're going to imagine that this line intersects this line here, the middle one. We're going to imagine that it intersects, and we're going to make a fold connecting that to the corner. So again, this is just an estimate, but it really doesn't matter too much. So about like that. You could even, actually, it's probably a bit better if you go even a little further above. So you can just adjust the fold or even leave it. It doesn't really matter. This just affects how high the halo is over the heart. So like that. And just fold to the center. And now repeat with the other side. So from there to there. And you're folding through all layers. Just like that. Bring it all nicely together. And now what you need to do is, you need to form that center crease. And this is going to make the model symmetrical again. So just like this. And now fold it down to one side. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take, or we're going to rather make a fold from this point to that point, folding the edge up. So I'm folding just like that, only through the top layer, just like that. Increase sharply throughout. Now, as you can see, if we look at it from the front, this edge comes up, so we just want to fold it down right along that top line, just to block it from view, like that. Now when I look at it again from the front, that edge is not visible. So now I'm going to, once again, fold this layer over to the other side, flatten, and do the same thing with this crease. So I'm folding it up like that. And now I'm going to fold it down along there, just to hide it from view. And now when we look at it from the front, we can see we have something like this. So now this is up to taste. So I prefer my halo a little bit thinner. So if your paper isn't too thick, you can try to fold this in half. So I'll give it a go. I think it's a bit thick, but I can give it a try. And you want to fold through all layers nicely. And just kind of have it come to a stop where it opens right back up. Just want the body here of the halo to be thinned out. So now it looks something like that. And now you can take your halo, and I like to wrap it around back. Or actually, rather, we should bring it around front. So you just want to just shape the halo. And it's very thick, like I said, especially if you fold it in half. So it may be difficult to get really nice shaping. But something like that is good. Something like that. And there's your halo. And you can even pull it up a little bit. You can adjust it to taste. Sometimes, like, even that I think looks okay. It's really up to you. So next, we're going to go ahead and shape the heart. So make sure you pull all the layers forward, nothing's covered. And this is, again, more to taste. But what I like to do is I like to fold a little bit of a diagonal crease here. Very slightly diagonal, so something like that. Even a little bit less, but like that. Then make a fold in this corner. Something like that is good. So I'm going to try to make it symmetrical on the other side. So something like that. I think that looks okay. And now I'm going to do this fold. Nice. I think that looks pretty good. And then I can even round out this section down here. And again, you can fold it to taste. However you like, really. So that looks okay to me. And you can see the heart in its entirety. If you want to shape it differently, you can do that. And so now we're going to do the wings. And with the wings, I like to do it a certain way. If you want to shape them differently, it's up to you. But I like to start, so I'm going to flip it over and make a fold from the corner to about a quarter of the way down this paper, so about there. And I'm just connecting them. And this is just to give the wings a slightly better shape, a more natural looking shape. And now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to try to divide this into 6 parts. So I'm going to fold it from the corner about to there, even a little bit back here, Then I'm going to fold behind directly on it. So that's my first crease. Now I'm going to make a fold from this point where this crease intersects here up to the top. And this area is a little bit thick, but it should come okay. Like that. And then I'm going to fold back a little further down. Something like that. And I'm going to fold backwards, fold behind, up to the corner, like that. And now I'm going to divide this part into two. So I'm going to fold it down, up. So I'm going to start by dividing, so I'm going to unfold that, start by dividing this into two. So something like that. And now I'm going to bring the edge to edge, and the same thing over here, edge to edge. So now what we have, we're going to kind of fold a little bit out. When you unfold, you have something like that. And now what we're going to do is, I'm going to fold this edge up a little bit. This is again to taste. You can fold it higher or lower, but fold it from corner to corner, just bringing it in a little bit. Now I'm going to make a fold from this point to this point, from the second mountain fold, or from the first mountain fold rather to the second mountain fold. And now I'll do the same thing, I'll fold this up a little bit, just bringing it up to give it a bit more shape. And I'll do the same thing here. And finally, I'm going to fold again behind just to make sure I have a straight line, and then fold it up. Something like that. And I like mine a little bit uneven like I just showed you here. But you can do yours more even if you want. And then you can even go ahead and sort of fold this in half, squash it a bit just to get a bit more shape going. And finally, you can take this part up here if you want it more like a bat's wings, you can fold this part over. And you have something like that. So now you want to repeat those same steps on the other side. So again, you want to just fold it down, right up to there. And I'm going to try to get mine looking symmetrical, so I'm going to start by folding down a little bit, maybe to there. Fold it back over. Now I'm going to make my fold here. Fold it back forward. Fold it behind again. Now I'm going to divide this section into two. And now I'm going to make my folds bringing edge to edge. And then you can unfold, and again, I'm going to do my step here where I bring some paper up, just to give it some shape, a little more like a regular wing. And again, whenever I don't have a straight line connecting corner to corner, I'm just going to fold it down to change that. So it looks like this. Like that. Same thing here. And then connect edge to edge, and then fold it up again. So it looks like that. And now I'm just going to fold this part a little bit to give it some shape, like I said before, just to match the other wing. And then there you have it. So again, this is just sort of the rudimentary shaping here I showed you. You can always do more. You can put the wings, the halo, however you like. This one here, I spent a lot of time shaping, and I think it turned out really nice. And same thing with these two. So, anyway, hopefully you were able to fold this design. Please comment below with future suggestions for demos, models, tutorials, anything. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe for more videos. As always, enjoy.